So there's a couple of points I want to cover now in regards to financial advisors. And unfortunately, we have a real problem in financial services, which is we have an ageing population of advisors. And there's lots of stats out there, but the latest one I've seen that 72% of advisors will be retiring in the next 10 years. Now that leads us to a bit of a crisis really, because I really truly believe that independent financial advice can be life-changing and more people need access to that facility to be able to help improve their financial futures. So one thing you need to be aware of is you may have a financial advisor already, and in the years to come you may get a letter to say that they've decided to retire and they're selling their business on. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, they've established a business, they've established, you know, processes, and they've got a really good client bank and they want to retire and move that on. For me though, that could be a really pivotal point in your life to make sure that you review your financial advisor and that you're happy with that acquisition and you're happy with that sale. Because ultimately that financial advisor that you've dealt with for the last 5, 10, 15 years, you've had a really good relationship with, is going. And the next advisor and the next firm that's buying that business might not have that same connection with you. They might not adhere to your own objectives. They might run the business in a way that you're not quite happy with. So don't just go with the ride, review it, analyse it. Is that merger, is that sale, is that retirement of that advisor going to be right for you? Just do your own due diligence on that new business. And unfortunately, the other reason mergers and acquisitions are going on at the moment is because there are a small number of advisors that are trying to run away from liabilities. And it's probably a controversial subject, and I'm almost nervous about saying it on film because there are advisors out there that are running away from their liabilities and setting up new firms and closing their old firms because they've had complaints, or they can't meet their liabilities, or they can't pay their PI insurance, their professional indemnity insurance, because they've done high-risk advice. Now, they are a very small minority, but again, if you're looking at your own circumstances and your own financial planning, it's worth making sure that that's not why your advisor is selling or your advisor is moving on, is because they're trying to run away from liabilities. I think that's really important to understand, and it's worth you doing that due diligence. I really don't like clients being ripped off because, unfortunately, the small minority that receive bad advice, it has an impact on us as the good advisors because, you know, we are passionate about what we do, we're passionate about our trade, and our job satisfaction is helping to financially empower people. So where there are this small minority of bad advisors making us look bad, I take real offence to it because not only does it cost me in regards to I have to pay extra insurance and I have to pay extra levies because of, you know, collapsed firms, but it also makes our job harder when we're trying to help clients because they don't have the confidence, and I completely get it. You know, if you've been scolded in the past from bad financial advice, you're going to be put off about going to a financial advisor in the future, and it shouldn't be like that. We really do help clients, and we often help clients with the smallest of things. You know, a client might come to us and say, Rob, you know, I want a new pension set up, and actually we identify other areas such as, well, you're self-employed, you've got really limited cash savings, why haven't you thought about income protection? And, you know, I'll share a story now. One of the first insurance policies I ever sold was for a warehouse worker in Ellesmere Port. And sadly, after I sold this insurance, about 6 or 9 months later, the guy had a fall from the warehouse and he fell 2 stories. And on his fall, he put out his arms as you would to break his fall, and he smashed both of his arms. And his recoup time was going to be 18 months. Now, this guy had a young family, he had 2 young kids, and, you know, his income was essential to that family household. But fortunately, I sold him an income protection policy, and he was able to claim after about 12 weeks £1,000 a month, which was actually enough to pay for his mortgage and a couple of other essential bills. And I remember getting a call from the chap to say, Rob, you know, that was one of the best things you ever, you know, did for me, and I can't thank you enough. You know, without it, we could have lost our home. We don't know what we would have done. So that is the power of financial advice. It's not just investing millions, it's selling, you know, a guy with a young family in Ellesmere Port a £12 a month income protection policy to protect him and his family's financial future. So, you know, do use our services. We offer a free initial chat. A lot of really good other financial advisors also offer a free initial chat. Go and see them. go and have a chat to them, see how they can help you in your financial future and protect what you have. Because if COVID has taught us one thing, and clearly, you know, it's going on around us at the moment, is that we are vulnerable. And I think now is no better time to seek financial advice.
So I think as a young advisor, one of the main benefits that I have is that I'm able to grow my clients over the next 30 years. Now, the average age of advisors in the UK is the late 50s. Now, as a client, you want to be asking yourself, what's the succession plan for that? And I'm not saying that everyone should move to me or a younger advisor. I'm just saying that we are able to grow with our clients over the next 30 years and develop that relationship. And we can have those conversations that you might be initially at first reluctant to have. I think it's really important to be open and honest and have that relationship with your clients. And I think as a young advisor, as a client, whether you're somebody my age or slightly older approaching retirement, it doesn't make any difference. We've all got the same qualifications. We're all to level 4. Yes, they've got more experience, but does that necessarily mean that they're feathering their own nests and furthering their own interests, as opposed to someone like me who's new into this industry and keen to establish those long-lasting relationships?